Okay, diary. End of official day 4. I guess I skipped 3. Don't really remember what happened last night, but I don't think it was terribly exciting. I remember being impressed at not drinking. Today I'm very impressed at not having had a drink. I had so many opportunities and so many convincing moments where I could have made that choice and didn't. So, celebrating me today. Ooh, ooh. And I would have tried to accept and forgive myself if I had had a drink, but I'm really glad I didn't. I'm really glad I didn't. It was a good day. Work was fine. And after work, I don't know. I was just kind of in this like, okay, ready for a drink mode. And, thoughts went through my head, convincing thoughts like, well, maybe you're pushing yourself too hard, and if you have like one drink every Friday or whatever, that's fine. And that is actually okay. If I did that, that would be so much bazillion times better than how I've been doing over the past few years. But I think that was also addiction voice. The devil. The devil. And, I let that one pass. And I had a choice where I had a moment where I could have gone and waited for my friends at a bar and had drinks, and kind of just didn't want it. Kind of didn't want to. I was really excited about sitting at a coffee shop and working on things. I ended up just Facebooking the whole time, but whatever gets it done, And then, I got dinner with my friends, and when they asked if I wanted a drink, I said no. And in the past, that's been a really hard moment for me. I don't know if it's getting easier or if it's just been easy a couple times for the first major opportunity for a drink for the night to just decide, well, if I want it later, I can have it. But right now I'm going to say no and see how long I can go. That seems to be going really well, which is awesome. And I didn't really want it. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel nervous. Then we went to Hattie's Hat. We went to another bar. So I guess I technically did have a little bit of alcohol, but I'm considering Underberg not alcohol. So not that I'm going to drink a bunch of Underbergs or whatever all month. So I don't know if you know what an Underberg is. It's a German drink that tastes a lot like Fernet, except better and more powerful, and it comes in this tiny little bottle, and because it comes in this tiny little bottle, it's not even considered alcohol, so I think you could sell it at places where you're not allowed to serve alcohol, but it's hard to find. It's kind of a service job, a service industry favorite. It's an aperitif, so it's super fucking good at helping you digest. So apparently my stomach has shrank significantly, and I was super fucking full after this like tiny piece of chicken and some rice and a tortilla or two. And so I said, let's get Underbergs. So that was awesome. And we sat there for a good hour and a half, and the guys I was with got drinks, and I didn't really feel the need. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel like I was in a rush or anything like that. Now, it got a little harder once we got to the show, at Substation, this venue in, Seattle. And like that went, it was interesting. Throughout the night, there were like moments where I wasn't really thinking about how I was feeling. And then there were moments when I was pretty intensely aware of how I was feeling. And, there were times when I was comfortable in my conversation with people, and times when suddenly I was really agitated. Like either I was irritated with someone I was talking with or someone that was nearby, or I was really bored, or I was just really uncomfortable about how someone was behaving, or I was uncomfortable about how I was performing in the conversation. There was a time when I was watching the band, and I'm somebody who likes to stand up front and support, especially if it's my friends, And this was not that kind of crowd. They were all kind of like hanging in the back, and it was mostly people I don't know. It was kind of a weird vibe tonight. And I was up front, and I don't think it's just because I was the only one up there, because I feel like this kind of all the time, but you know, I felt like I needed to like move in a certain way to show that I was like really into the band. And I cared about the band. I was into the band, but I felt very tight and I wasn't like drunk, so it wasn't easy to just fucking headbang to anything, you know. So anyway, so that was a moment when I could have had a drink, and I thought about it and decided not to. Later on, there were those uncomfortable moments in conversation, and then I came back into the venue for the last band. That was halfway through, and people were very tame still, and the band was like trying to get them riled up. And I was like, this would be a really good time for me to fucking shot of tequila, you know? Like, let's get this party, like, let's like send these guys off. They were a touring band, so let's like send them off with like a lot of excitement and stuff. And you know, I'm standing there like considering this while I'm watching the show, and I'm like, that's not gonna do anything. I mean, it's possible that it would have gotten me more riled up, but like they have 5 more songs. I don't really need to do that. And I don't need to do that for them, even though I feel like I'm supposed to be, I feel like a Seattle scene ambassador, kind of. It's an interesting thing. And then my next thought was, okay, well, I really want to like say hi to these guys. I want to shake their hands because they were really fucking phenomenal. Holy shit, that frontman. I have not seen that much power and charisma in a frontman that wasn't like David Bowie or Chris Cornell or something. He was really amazing, and those harmonies were on point. The guitarists were fucking great, the bassist was awesome, the drummer was killer. It was a great show. And so I was like, I want to shake their hands, I want to like hang out for a minute. And I was like, maybe they'll hang out for a minute. And then I thought, well, maybe that's a good time to have my last drink. Or not my last drink, the only drink of the night at the end of the night. And I kept thinking, well, it's like 11:30, it's midnight. I've gone this far. Why bother like fucking up at the end of the night? And you know, there's the other voice in my head that's like, you know what, if you have one and you made it to the end of the night, this is maybe my therapist's voice or my doctor's voice or some of my friends' voices saying, if you were present with yourself this whole time and you resisted temptation this whole time, it's fine to reward yourself with a drink by the end of the night, or at the end of the night. And I feel that. I believe that. If that happens over the course of the 6 months, oh my God, that's still terrifying that I'm attempting to do this for, then I'm not going to get down on myself, because that's just going to make me like actually start binge drinking again. But my other thought was, all right, I've gone this far. What's a drink going to do for me? And it really, I don't think it would have done anything. It would have made me sleepier. Maybe if I had actually had the drink before the last band played, I would have been like more energetic or whatever, but it was okay. I had a good time. I went from super stiff to pretty fluid and into it and like headbanging a bit. Not hard. I say that as if like my massage therapist is like listening or something. I say massage therapist like I'm rich or something. She's just a friend who massages me sometimes. I do pay her. Anyway. Other things I noticed today. My mood was pretty stable, even though I'm in kind of a weird place emotionally, and have been for a bit. My mood was pretty stable. What was I gonna say? I definitely halfway through the show, I was kind of like, even though I was hanging out with my friends that I miss and I love them, I was kind of like, I kind of just want to go home and watch TV. And I've noticed that about myself when I'm sober, is that I kind of feel like I'm out in the world in my PJs, and you know, it kind of feels like the world is like my home when I was a kid, and everybody is my parents' friends. And you know, like when you're, okay, let's start this metaphor over. You know, when you're a kid and your parents are having a party, or whatever. Mine had a lot of parties, lots of loud music and stuff. And you're just kind of like sleepy and chill and kind of like satisfied and warm, just like being around everybody and being amongst the crowd. But you know that you can kind of just like slip off to bed when you're ready, and you'll be safe and protected, and you'll probably pass out even though they're loud as fuck. The world kind of feels like that when I'm sober. I don't feel like I'm an adult at the party that's, you know, engaging with the party, that's having a great time at the party, that's losing their shit at the party, or having wild experiences at the party, or having wonderful connections at the party, or revelations at the party. It's just, I'm a little kid with a blankie walking around going, what are these guys doing? Oh, okay, what are these guys doing? Oh, chill. You know, I probably should have watched that before I did that. So when one of my good friends who was in the first band asked if I wanted to go out dancing at the Sea Monster, which is like a funk club kind of place in town, you know, normally I would have been like, fuck yeah, let's go, because that sounds like a fun adventure. It sounds like fun. I was kind of like, I don't know any of your friends. I don't know. I think I just want to go home and watch TV. And then, you know, I kind of just stuck around at the bar for a little bit after the show. And I ended up meeting the people who are hosting the band and most of the band. And they were like, oh, hey, you like want to come over? And they definitely weren't hitting on me. I mean, like maybe one or, I don't know, maybe somebody was and I didn't notice, but like they were super chill. Like it seemed like a very safe scenario. As if I need to explain that to you guys. And like normally I would be like, did I say that they invited me over? They invited me over to hang out. Next neighborhood over, easy peasy. And it was tempting because they seem like cool people. I like adventures. I like meeting new people. I like making new connections. I like learning about touring bands and their experiences. I was learning about the lack of San Francisco music scene from somebody who just moved here from down there about 10 months ago. He's one of the hosts. And, you know, I've done that before. And in that moment, I felt like, that sounds like really fun. That sounds like a really genuinely special time. I think I'm going to go home instead. Which is fine, you know, but it was weird for me. I was kind of thinking like, I don't know. I've done that before, and I think it was coming, even though the adventure and the meeting people and the connection and building community with touring people is awesome. I think in the past I may have been doing it more out of a sense of trying to access a sense of validation, trying to access a sense of belonging and importance. Importance, that resonates a lot. Trying to feel important. Yeah. And tonight I just didn't feel like I needed that. So it's possible that, to my surprise, I might be more emotionally resilient when I'm not drinking. That might also just be me this week, or me the past couple weeks. I've been more in touch with what I feel like I need in any given moment, which has historically been a hard thing for me because I'm constantly getting into other people's heads and trying to figure out how to give them what they want. So I kind of desensitized myself and didn't develop the neural connections I needed to really understand what I want and need in any given moment. And I've been doing that quite a bit more and better lately, just in the past like week or so. So anyway, what else should go in this story? Well, I'm home now, and I'm fine. I'm sober. It's always funny driving completely sober. I'm like, someone's gonna pull me over, and I'm gonna be like, pew 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 pew. I'm sober, fucker. Fucking breathalyze me. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just feel. I'm worried that tomorrow's gonna be harder. I'm worried that tomorrow I'm probably gonna drink. I'm not really worried, but I think tomorrow I'm going to be more tempted to drink than today. I think usually after days when I'm like, I worked really hard for this, I deserve a drink now. I don't know. there's also, I'm engaging in some interesting social stuff tomorrow. That's a little bit, that involves some insecurity on my part and some weird, like, he said, she said, and what do people think about me, and what are people going to think about me hanging out with X, Y, and Z, and basically bullshit and drama. That's probably just me assuming that other people are thinking. But yeah, there might be a little. And one of my good friends, whom I've just really reconnected with, is in town tomorrow and wants to like hang out and grab a drink, and I'm like, fuck. I don't need to drink to have that conversation. That was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned so many times, and that I already know, that I sort of experienced today, was I can make it through these experiences, and I don't need to be drinking. I don't need to be drinking to be happy. I don't need to be drinking to have fun. But my brain still believes so many things. My brain still believes that alcohol is the solution to feeling disconnected. That alcohol is the solution to feeling bored or boring. That alcohol is the solution to having time to waste. That alcohol is the solution to bestowing a gift on someone or showing someone that you care. Like, alcohol has become the solution in my brain to so many things. It's so hard. It's hard to detach from all of them all at once. Like, they're just coming up and coming up and coming up. I think it's very important that I prove to myself, even though I did want to drink at some points tonight, and even though I do think it would have maybe made the night better or different in some ways, I need to prove to myself that I can have positive experiences without it. And something that really helped me tonight that I hope I remember in the future was right at the end of the night when I was thinking about having that one drink, that one, rewarding myself for reward. Alcohol is also my solution for rewarding myself. When I was thinking about having that one last drink to reward myself for working so hard during the day, it's funny, I remember looking at the door frame. Don't know why that's relevant. Don't die there, bud. I was thinking, right now, in this moment, when I'm considering having a drink and deciding not to, and realizing that I'm okay in this moment, that I'm making it through this moment right now, I am actively changing my brain. I'm changing the physical makeup of my brain. I'm changing the chemical makeup of my brain right now. And that felt so cool and nerdy. That was so effective. That was the reason that I didn't finally have a drink at the end of the night. Was like recognizing that I am building something, that I am making progress, that no matter what happens from here on in, I have laid some bricks, you know? And it feels a little bit more like, you know, like an RPG at that point, where, you know, you're grinding on the mines and grinding on the flowers and grinding on the bad guys and getting the points and getting the teeth and skins and stuff to make your leather armor. Have I taken this nerdy joke too far? It just felt, I felt more purposeful. I felt more solidified in my conviction about what I was doing and why. So I made significant effort today, I think. I wasn't like enraged and feeling like I needed a drink, but I pushed myself through some discomfort for sure. And I stayed in the room. Good job, Iris. And hey, let me give myself another few pats on the back. Oh yeah. I fucking didn't spend barely anything this week. Woo! High five me. I fucking cooked and did meal prep for... What's wrong with my boobs? Okay. Cooked and did meal prep for the whole week and have stuck to it almost completely. I ate really healthy. I think my stomach shrunk because I just brought kind of like individual little snacks instead of like one big meal that you like try to eat all of, because otherwise there's just this weird little chunk left and that's not really enough for a snack later, or just because it's there and you want, it's like tastes good, or just because it's there you think you need to eat all of it. I just had like, I'd have like a banana smoothie, and then I'd have like 2 eggs around 11 a.m. and then I'd have some carrots with hummus and some celery sticks with peanut butter later on, or a couple pieces of chicken. And I was full all day. I'm never full all day. Often I'm snacky all the time, especially in office environments. And whatever order I was eating things in and whatever I was eating, it kept me full all fucking day. And I ended up barely eating dinner, you know. I've just been eating so much less and a lot more and little throughout the day. I eat when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full. I mean, I've always read that, but I've never actually created an environment in which I could easily fulfill those instructions, right? So I'm pretty stoked. Good job, me. Super proud, super happy. And I'm feeling good. I'm tired. I feel kind of boring and bored. Well, not bored. I just feel kind of boring. But that's okay. Like, I don't, like, it's not an identity issue where I feel like a shitty person and I'm trying to not be boring or anything. It's just like, wow, I've managed to stay home a lot this week. And I've, you know, I haven't just watched TV either. I should pat myself on the back for that, too. I'm going to stop doing that, though, because it's getting weird. I actually worked on side projects this week. None of them were music, but they were my business that I'm working on. So, yeah. I may have even just accidentally started a new band. Which is amazing. So, not everything's perfect. My finances seem to be coming together. I think I'm going to make it, thanks to Dad. Thank you, Dad. Mwah. You know, not every decision I'm making is what I would have said a month ago should be something I should be doing. But almost all my decisions are way better. And the things I'm doing that I'm kind of going, should you be doing that? You probably really need to put your foot down here. I just don't feel that bad about right now. I think things will happen in their own time, and I will become more resilient in my own time, and hopefully that's not an excuse that I'm just making. And if it is, fuck it. I just feel kind of okay, I guess. I have definitely felt up and down in the past week. Most of it was financially based, though, and like worrying about my finances, and then feeling kind of disconnected from a lot of things, and feeling like I need to let some things go, and feeling like I really want to pursue this new career, and in order to do that, I want to let go of everything in my life, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, I let myself spiral into this place of I need to change everything and I need to do it right now, or I'm really scared. Like I'm still experiencing significant anxiety. I didn't have very much today, which is bueno. Did I mention I cut out sugar and gluten completely for 4 or 5 days now? Amazing. Along with the alcohol, which is really spectacular. So I forget what I was talking about. I don't remember. Something about anxiety. I still have panic moments and stuff. But, I don't remember. Anyway, I just let myself spiral into this, like, crazy, I need to fix everything space this week. And, right now I'm just not that worried. And it changes each half of a day. So I'm probably freak out again soon. But right now I'm feeling like, okay, I can make it through. Whatever I need to make it through, I can make it through until the next step presents itself and becomes available, until I get there or whatever, until I get to the next phase. One more thing I want to mention before I go. I know this is a very long video. I'm sure no one will watch it. That's okay. This is really for me. CBD oil. I've been smoking it. I've been liking it. Now, I've been starting... pot never really did much for me. I always felt like it kind of made me either stupid or paranoid, depending on how much I had. And I know there's different types. I still haven't really explored how they each affect me. But I got some CBD oil. A friend of mine was letting me smoke his for a while, and I couldn't really tell if it did anything. But I was also usually kind of drinking. And then I got my own e-cig thing or whatever, my vape pen with the CBD oil in it, and I still couldn't tell, but again, most of the time I was drinking. Just the other day, I was driving home in the car, sober, obviously, and feeling kind of panicked. Maybe not all the way panicked, but I was feeling pretty anxious. I was feeling pretty spinny. And, you know, I had a good 3 puffs on that thing, and in a couple minutes I was just like, I don't care. And then I was like, oh, it worked finally! So I've been of the mind that it works, and I've been starting to think about it when I'm anxious, and I've been starting to think about it when I want to drink. And that, I feel, is good. Obviously, I don't want to become dependent on a completely different crutch. I still want to be able to feel my feelings and feel the discomfort and stay in the room and all that shit, but I would rather, when I get stressed out, have a mental response. I have my neurons fire and say CBD oil rather than say fucking go binge drink, you know, or whatever. Pot is obviously a bazillion times better for us than alcohol, and I would much rather be dissociating with that if that were what was going on than with alcohol. But with CBD oil, it's not dissociation because you don't get high. There's no THC in it, if you don't happen to know about that. I don't know very much about it either, but that's basically the gist. And CBD specifically works on, I believe, physical pain and anxiety. So yeah, I think it's actually good for me. If it really turns out to be good for me, it would be a fucking godsend. So anyway, this is about a half hour long, and this is my journey. It's fucking day 4. I still feel mostly ready for a 6-month alcohol break, but I don't feel prepared. And I don't really feel capable. The thought of it is terrifying. But I feel good right now. I feel good on day 4. And I'm just gonna keep making diaries. I guess that's it. Alright. Good night. Bye-bye.